on this webinar, I'm going to present, with us is Dharam Singh. He's going to present from strategy to value, how modern PMOs, programs and portfolios enable business outcomes. Our agenda for tonight is that we're going to start from 18 to 18:10. I'm going to present the suggested conduct, the PMI Germany chapter, the local group Darmstadt, and introduction of our today's speaker. And from 18 and 10 minutes, Dharam Singh is going to take over the stage. And afterwards, you're going to rate this event, and we're going to give you information on next events, the PDUM claim code, of course, and closure. I encourage you to ask questions during the presentation of Dharam, and after he's done, of course. The suggested conduct guidelines is mute your microphone during the sessions, use your full name to help us identify you for the PDUs. Feel free to turn on your video if you like. Of course, you can use the chat to ask questions if you don't feel comfortable asking directly. But if you do feel comfortable enough, please raise your hand and we will give you space to ask your question. Today's session is going to be videoed. And of course, the PMI Germany chapter at a glance, we merged from 3 to 4 chapters in 2020. The PMI German Frankfurt chapter was the first chapter in Europe, established in 1988. The scale of it is 5 regions, 25 local groups, approximately 11,000 PMI members in Germany, including a multinational community of about 5,000 members from plus 40 countries in Germany. There is more than 150 dedicated individuals, of course, and here you can see where the local group Darmstadt is. The local group Darmstadt is an English-speaking community with 7 volunteers from 6 countries. We have 2 free online events per month. On average, we have 35 attendees. And more than 3,300 participants since inception. And of course, we have 1 free face-to-face roundtable per month. And also we have a group with 520 plus members on LinkedIn. So join our sessions for free, and of course, follow us on LinkedIn. So, introducing our speaker today, Dharam Singh. He's the founder and CEO of VCare Project Management, a PMI authorized training partner, PMI ATP. With more than 34 years of experience, he has supported professionals and organizations worldwide through consulting, training, mentoring, and PMO transformation initiatives. Close cooperation with multiple PMI chapters globally and brings a strong strategic and practical perspective to project, program, and portfolio management. This is his YouTube channel. I will share it shortly after he starts, so you can follow where he has podcasts and more information on that. Of course, I encourage you also to share for network increase on your LinkedIn profiles if you wish. And Dharam, now the stage is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Good to be here, actually. So you mentioned about my YouTube channel. You have forgot to talk about my YouTube channel with Thomas. He has done lots of webinar or podcasts with me. So if you know Thomas, he is here. You want to learn from him, so you should be joining. You should be watching the webinar podcast on my YouTube channel. So probably around 70 plus recordings we have. So it's a lot of knowledge to learn from Thomas, a little bit from me as well. I'm more like I'm a moderator there. I'm here, I'm talking, which is great to be here. Okay, now okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Where is okay, let me make it smaller. So, first of all, thank you. Thank you for invite. I know one day when I was talking to Thomas, during that conversation, he said, Dharam, why don't you come and share your knowledge with our chapter? So why not? I did one webinar probably 4 years ago, 2022, I think, when I was coming to Frankfurt. That time I did one webinar, and it was overdue. So Thomas invited me, and I'm here talking to you with a very interesting topic. As you can see, strategy to value. We're talking here how modern PMO program and portfolio management enable the business outcome. It's no more delivery, it's more about how can you give the maximum value for your organization, for your clients. That's what we're going to talk about. We talk about how the modern PMO, evolving PMO, and this PMO structure and the portfolio management and program management together will help your organization to achieve what they really want to achieve. Okay. Yeah, I was introduced and it was, thank you. It was great introduction. Thank you very much. And a little bit more about me. Yes, I have some certificates, as you can see. My last certificate I got was PMOCP. This is when PMI invited me to run their pilot program. Last year, June, July, that's where I was conducting the PMOCP pilot program. And since then, I have been teaching PMOCP. I have now 6 or 7 PMOCP certified through this program. And of course, I have been teaching PGMP, which is my bread and butter, I started teaching PGMP in 2009. And as of now, I am fortunate to have 602 PGMPs globally. And I think out of this, probably 40 of them maybe from Germany. And PFMP 201, which is again another good number to have. While we're talking 602, actually PGMP, we have only around 8,000 or maybe maximum 9,000 PGMPs globally. And PFMP, we have around 2,300. So having this number is, of course, is proud feeling for me. Every person come to me with a PGMP, PFMP learning, I feel excited. And when they do that, yeah, so this is, and you probably know, some people might say the PGMP, PFMP are the hardest exam. But you know what? If I can do, anybody can do. And Thomas has done PGMP. Anybody else has done PGMP or PFMP or PMOCP? Yeah, feel free to put on chat. I'd like to know that. Yeah, great. Perfect. So otherwise, I am originally from India and Australian citizen. So I lived in Australia for more than 22 years. And I'm now in Dallas for last US 6 years. And yeah, so it's going great with lots of people coming to me for PGMP and PFMP or PMOCP or whatever. So during this process of, while I'm teaching, I realized that we do talk about delivery as part of the projects and the program, we talk about benefit, and how can we ensure we give the required benefit for our stakeholders. So what I'm going to talk today, number of things to go through. Why this topic now? Because very important to recognize this is important. And yes, we have, past we have run the project program, but the focus was on delivery, on time, within budget.
Yeah.
Sorry, can you mute yourself, please? Yeah, now we're moving.
Dharam, you're muted. Just a second.
So I have been muted all the time?
No, you haven't been, just for the past 10 seconds, I think.
I don't know what happened, but okay. All right. Can you hear me all right? Everybody?
Yes, perfectly.
Okay, apologies. I don't know what was happening. I did not do anything. Now, I'm talking about the agenda, and we're going to talk about why this topic today and now in this era, especially when things are changing and a lot of uncertainties. And we're going to talk about the core problem. Then we're going to establish why PMO should be a strategic partner. Yes, we have been seeing their support structure and all those, but now we are moving towards a strategic partner. We'll talk about portfolio management, program management, and capability blueprints and roadmap for future, and few other things I'm going to talk about. So let us start with the question, why this topic now? So the reality is organizations today are under more pressure than ever to deliver value faster. not just to complete the project, just produce the output and outcome. We're here for real business outcome. The environment has changed drastically. Strategy is no longer something organization revisit every 3 or 5 years. So it used to be long term, but now things are changing very fast. The strategy cycles are shrinking. Priorities shift quickly, and organization must adapt continuously. So as things are changing, we need to adapt accordingly. At the same time, digital disruption is constant, which is going very fast, changing very fast. AI introduction to AI and many things happening. New technologies, competitors, and new customer expectations are shaping the industry almost overnight. And of course, funding is becoming more and more tighter. Leaders are being asked to do more with less. What means every investment must be justified. So whenever you go for another project to start, program to start, many questions are asked. Now you have to justify why this investment required in this particular initiative. But most important, executives are no longer impressed by activity. So it's not about activity. How hardworking you are doesn't matter. But they demand outcome, benefit, and measurable value. So that's what we have as a project manager, program manager, PMO, portfolio managers. We are here to deliver measurable value. So the key question is, how do PMO evolve from delivery oversight into the value enablement? The focus of today's conversation, moving from managing work to enabling the strategic execution and sustained business impact. So you may have seen this in your organization. I don't know. Maybe you are asked to run more initiative, more urgency, but always asking for more value. That's exactly what we will unpack today. Is it common observation? Like you have this similar thing? A lot of requirement, demand. I don't know. Germany may know. Everybody relax. Don't worry about probably Germany. There, you guys are more punctual, more as I hear all the time from Thomas. You have a very particular and do things as expected, which is a good thing. Now the core problem is most strategies don't fail because they're poorly designed. So we have great work, executive and senior executive, they talk about, they come up with all the vision, mission, goals, objective. So we don't fail just because poorly designed. It's just we fail to execute. Many organizations have brilliant strategy plans, great strategy, but great strategy does not automatically translate into real impact. You can come up with all the big picture and all the strategy, but reality is when you start delivering, it may or something did not work out and you did not get the expected results. What often happens in the portfolio become overloaded. Sometimes you are asked too many projects to be done, which makes your project and the part of the portfolio become more overloaded. And in many cases, PMO remain heavily focused on governance. They're worried about governance, reporting, compliance, rather than whether value is actually being realized. Yes, of course, we have to think about compliance and everything, but it's about the value delivery. That's what we're going to talk. So the gap is not planning, the gap is value realization. The real question is, how do we ensure that investment programs and PMO structure continuously connect back to strategic outcome? So whatever we do, whatever the program, projects, PMO work we do, it has to be aligned. This has to be aligned with strategic outcome. So that's where the portfolio thinking, benefit management, and modern PMO leadership become essential. I'm sure many of you have seen this, lots of activities, dashboards everywhere. We have activities happening, dashboards are there, but organizations still asking, are we getting the expected value? Yeah. Now the current scenario, we're going to talk about the reality organizations are facing today. With increasing competition and constant change, strategy is no longer enough on its own. Organization must deliver on strategic intent in the most efficient and responsive way possible. What this means is that the execution has become a leadership priority. not operation afterthought. In many enterprises, the challenge is not lack of initiative. We have plenty of initiatives. The challenge is ensuring those initiatives are governed, aligned, and adjusted to protect value. That is why execution governance matters more than ever. Governance today is not about just controlling or reporting. It's more than that. It's about enabling smarter decisions, faster prioritization, and sustained business outcomes. Yeah. Of course, we like to see the governance, smart reporting, everything happening, but we have to focus on smarter decision, faster prioritization, and sustained business outcome. This set the stage for the next part of our discussion, how PMO, portfolio management, and program leadership evolved to deliver value, not just activity. Let's now look at how PMO can play a strategic role to make this happen. So this slide is going to bring everything together. How organization move from strategy to real business value. So we have starting with the strategy via portfolio, program, projects, delivering the benefits, and ultimately the business outcome. So that's why the next layer is going to be portfolio, because we have to think about the investment choice, how do we choose the coordinated execution, measurable outcome. So portfolio management ensure that we are selecting and prioritizing the right initiative. So role of portfolio manager is very, very important because you have responsibility. You need to understand the organizational strategy, strategic objective, goals, vision, mission, and you need to pick the right project, right programs that will help organization to achieve the strategic objectives. So investments are chosen and program come into play, especially when we talk about large size programs. So program coordinate multiple related projects. So the simple definition of program is when you talk about multiple interdependent projects and deliver the expected benefits. Then the projects. So part of the program, you have a number of projects. As you know, the definition of project, you're delivering unique product services with defined, your end date. Projects then execute specific output, tangible deliverables. But the real goal is not just deliverable. And that we cannot deny it. We need to have deliverables. It's not but this is not the end. The goal is the benefit, which is measurable improvements, value creation, sustained change, and ultimately those benefits lead to final destination that become your business outcome. The key message is how the PMO going to assist, not just reporting function, but how they're going to help overall to work with various roles, strategy, portfolio, program, projects, and make sure we get the result. So PMO act as a translation engine. So this is our translation engine, connecting strategy to execution, ensuring alignment and governance and value realization across entire chain. So this is our backbone. You're going to, supporting all various roles to make sure everything stays aligned. When done, the PMO becomes the bridge between what leaders want to achieve and what organization actually delivers. So I would like to reflect in your organization, where does the chain break most often? Whether it's a portfolio decision level or program alignment or benefit ownership. Anybody has any ideas? You do have any breakdowns? Is it because of portfolio decisions or maybe some other reasons? Anyone like to say some words? Yes, please.
Lars.
Thanks. Yeah, I think it's at the right end of the chain, right? It's on the benefit and business outcome mapping, right? So I think everybody is always easy to start at projects and then they deliver something, but then if they really fulfilled what they were intended to do and really mapped to the business outcomes, that is often either not investigated or then the ownership is not clear there very often, in my experience.
Exactly. So it's sometimes, lack of ownership, lack of translation from one level to another level, and setting expectation, right expectation. Is it only project deliverables? Sometimes, okay, my job is done. No, it's not enough. We need to make sure we deliver the benefits. Okay, now let's look deeper into what it means for a PMO to operate as a true strategic partner rather than delivery support office. So this slide highlights one of the most important shifts happening in organization today. So the evolution from traditional PMO to the modern strategic PMOs. Historically, many PMOs were designed primarily for compliance and reporting. So if we look at 90s or early 2000, last decade, all focus more on reporting, compliance, governance. While those capabilities are still important, we cannot deny they're still important, but they're not sufficient enough. They're not. We have to think about more than that. So the modern environment demands something more. From compliance to value delivery. Yes, compliance and reporting to the business value and outcome. So traditional PMOs often measured success through reports and process adherence. Now the modern strategic PMO measures success through business value and outcome. The question is no longer, are we on schedule? It is about, are we delivering the value, the strategic promise, whatever we promised as part of the strategic objectives. From cost tracking, schedule management, to the benefit alignment. Yes, still important, but more about strategy, strategic alignment. So traditional PMOs were focused on project level, about the cost and the timeline control. But the modern PMO emphasizing on benefit relation and alignment to strategic priorities. This means connecting execution directly to why the initiative matters. Now, the next thing we talk about project focus. Moving to project portfolio and transformation focus. Not anymore just project focus. We are talking about portfolio and transformation focus. So traditional PMO talking about project out level, but a modern PMO operates at the portfolio and transformation level, helping leaders prioritizing investments, stop low value work and focus revenue, focus the resources where impact is highest. So where should we prioritize? Prioritizing based on the investment ROI. And if we are doing some low value work, may not be required. How to keep your resources, right resources working on the highest value generating projects, programs. The last we're talking here, governance. From governance and control to governance as enablement. So it's no longer about control, bureaucracy, slowing decision down. Rather, we're talking about enablement, creating clarity, accelerating decisions, and ensuring value is protected. So the core message is simple. The PMO is no longer just support office, which we used to think. It is becoming a strategic engine for execution and value delivery. So this is a shift organization must embrace if they want to move from strategy to outcome. Okay. Now that we understood the shift, let us explore how the portfolio management becomes the foundation for making the right strategic investment decisions. The PMO as strategic execution partner. So this is the key shift I want to emphasize today. We're talking about this. And PMO is no longer just delivery support office. They are becoming more and more strategy execution partners. So a modern PMO exists to help the organization translate the strategic intent into the coordinated actions and measurable outcomes. So when done well, the PMO enables 5 critical capabilities. Strategic alignment across investment. The first is PMO ensure that investment across portfolio remain aligned to strategic priorities. It helps the leadership answer, are we funding the work that truly support our strategy? That means we are doing the right work, which actually would help us to achieve the strategic objective. Second, we're talking prioritization of what matters the most. So second, PMO enable or prioritization. In an environment of the limited resources, we have sometimes limited money, limited people, limited technology. The PMO helps organization to focus on initiatives that create the highest value and stop the other, which is not going to add more value. So we need to see which initiative will give the most value. The third, we're talking decision-making transparency. Not just what decisions are made, but why. Creating trust, clarity, and alignment across stakeholders. So keeping everybody know why the decision was made. You should provide justification. The fourth, we're talking outcome-based governance. The PMO help leaders focus on benefit, value relation, business impact, not just schedule the report. And the fifth one we're talking here, enterprise agility and accountability. It helps the enterprise adapt quickly when maintaining accountability for results. So, takeaway is simple. PMO is a business enabler, not an administrator or another administrative layer. When positioned correctly, PMO becomes the engine that connects the strategy, portfolio decisions, execution discipline, and sustained value delivery. Okay. Now that we have positioned the PMO as strategy execution partner, let's go deeper into the foundation of the work, portfolio management, and investment decision making. Now, before we jump to the portfolio management, let's look at this back to basic. One of the most common challenges in our organization is that people use the term project, program, and portfolio interchangeably. I'm not sure if we have the same problem. Sometimes they're running a program, but they call project. They're running a project, they call portfolio. A group of, we need to have clear distinction. As per PMI, they have different definitions of project, program, and portfolio. Project, as you know, temporary endeavor to create specific deliverables or output. Projects are focusing on doing the work right. That means with the scope, schedule, cost, and quality. Now, program, as we move to the next stage, program is group of related projects. So program talks about group of related work managed together to deliver outcome and benefits. So we're talking large scale program with multiple interdependent projects. We need to coordinate them in such a way we're going to get the expected outcome and the benefits. Programs are focused on doing the right work together. That means the coordination, dependencies, benefit relation. So program talks about coordination. So project talks about delivery, program talks about coordination. Whereas the portfolio talks about how all investment selected to achieve strategic objective. So their portfolio talks about the selection process. How do we select the best project program, which will give us the most value? Portfolio focus on doing most valuable work, prioritization, trade-off, and alignment to strategy.
Dharam,
yes,
I have to interrupt you. There is a question from Khalaf Ahmed. What do you do when input from strategy is poor?
So if the strategy is not defined properly, or of course, that's a kind of even if you have a great team, but if you are not given the right direction, then you're going to fail. So it's not only just how to execute, but also the leaders has to think. They need to come up with a vision, mission, goals, objective after doing a lot of analysis. If the input to strategy was wrong, and that can happen based on how your PMO is acting, if your PMO has not supported or provided right information at the right time, you may end up having bad decisions, and which will result, losing money and overstressed resources, and many things can happen. Make sense? Right. Any other question?
Feel free to ask. Or if you don't feel comfortable, you can write it in the chat.
All right. Okay. So the key messages, project delivers out. Sorry, anybody have a question? No. So
No.
The message here is project deliver output, program deliver benefits, and portfolio talks in terms of strategic value. And this is exactly where the modern PMO plays a critical role, connecting all the three layers to ensure execution drive outcome. Now that we have grounded ourselves into the basics, let's start talking about the portfolio management. We'll talk about the value relation, and because the value relation begins with choosing the right investment. So that's what we're going to talk. So portfolio management, which is where the strategy begins to turn into investment decisions. Portfolio management is about ensuring that organization resources are allocated to initiatives that best support strategic objectives. Its focus is not just managing more work, it's about choosing and prioritizing the right work. So we have two key outcomes we're looking for. One, to manage the portfolio effectively, improving ROI, return on investment. How can we maximize return to our stakeholders, the return on investment, whoever made investments? And the second thing we're talking here, increasing visibility into overall portfolio performance. So while portfolio is going on, we have to keep our stakeholder informed by providing right information, right communication, reports. Portfolio management enables strategic change. So portfolio management enables strategic change by guiding the decisions on funding, prioritization, and resource deployment across competing initiatives. So now as a portfolio, you have a number of initiatives going on, and some of them are fighting for the same resources. So if the decisions are not made effectively, properly, then you may end up having, overstretched resources or not getting the expected results. So in other words, it provides the governance needed to maximize the value and achieve strategic goals. So once the right initiatives are selected at the portfolio level, the next challenge becomes coordinating delivery and realizing the benefit. Yes, portfolio has done a good job by selecting the right work. Now it's up to the program manager to get the benefits. So portfolio management helps organization to choose the right investment. Program management ensure that those investments deliver coordinated benefits. Portfolio management as funding the strategy. When the selection happens, ensuring that right funding is also allocated. Are we investing in the right work? So this is a question as a portfolio manager or as an organization leader. Are we investing into the right work? It is the mechanism through which strategy gets funded, prioritized, and translated into actionable initiatives. Because resources are always limited, like funding, people, technology. Portfolio helps organizations make deliberate choice rather than spending effort across too many competing demands. So portfolio manager has to select where we should be focusing, where we should be investing our money, and the right resources are allocated to the right work. It's not about getting more work done, it's about getting the work done by right people, right amount of funding, and everything is correctly identified, allocated. Now the key value drives in the portfolio management include the strategic prioritization, ensuring that investment directly support enterprise goals. So whatever decisions are made about investment, they should be supporting enterprise goals. Of course, highest priority get the maximum fund or first priority. Resource capacity optimization. So we have resources, money, people, equipment, devices. Are we using this capacity at the optimum level, matching the demand with what organization can realistically deliver? Risk balanced investment mix. So risk balanced. So when you're investing, you need to think about not only on value delivery, but also how much risk involved in this. When we talk about PFMP, portfolio management, we do talk about resource risk appetite, risk thresholds. So investment decisions are made within the defined boundaries for you. So balancing innovation, transformation, and operation stability. Now the fourth one we're talking here, stopping low value initiative early. If some low value work is done, why are we wasting money? Maybe come out of this as early as possible before we lose a lot of money or waste of resources. In essence, portfolio management is how organizations protect strategic focus and maximize value from their investment. Once the right work is funded at the portfolio level, the next step is coordinating delivery across initiatives, which is the program management. Portfolio decide which initiative get funded. The program will ensure the funded work deliver integrated benefits. Yes, we fund it. Now it is program manager responsibility to get the expected benefits. The program management is where the multiple related projects are coordinated together. Not to just deliver the output, but to manage out dependencies. We have to know, what are the interdependencies, and making sure we are aware of the dependencies, and we are aware of that, and we don't want to see that because of interdependency we have impact on the benefit delivery. Unlike the project management, where the focus is on specific scope, program management focuses on integration of the work, sequencing them in the most efficient way, and realizing value across interconnected initiatives. Remember, the work we are doing as part of the program have interdependency. And when they have interdependency, we have to ensure they are coordinated. Coordinated in such a way you get the required or expected outcome and ultimately the benefit. So this is the layer where strategy begins turning into measurable business outcomes. So programs are the bridge between investment decisions and real transformation. Now, once the portfolio decide where to invest, program are the mechanism that deliver strategy change. Program management is not about managing multiple projects separately. It is about coordinating them as integrated system to realize shared benefits. Modern programs focused on benefit ownership. It's all about benefit, who goes to own the benefit relation, and cross-functional alignment, cross-functional coordination, and leading change across the organization. This is a shift from simply completing output to deliver outcome. It's not only that, it's more about benefit delivery. In short, project, procedure, deliverables, program disease transformation. So project is about deliverables, whereas program talks about transformations using those deliverables. So this is where execution becomes enterprise change, not just project completion. Now, once the portfolio decides that where to invest, the program coordinate delivery and governance become the system that keeps execution on track. The purpose of governance is to make sure everybody is doing what they're supposed to do. They are on track. So modern governance is not about bureaucracy reporting. Here we're talking about strategic steering. It ensures we stay aligned to business case, escalated decisions quickly, and adopt control as continuous change. The governance loop is continuous, aligning the priorities, steering the execution, and deliver the outcome, and adapt based on the results. This is how PMO move from oversight to enabling value realization. So governance is how strategies stay alive during execution. So what the PMO's role in the governance and value realization? So we're going to find out. Now, for many years, project success was defined as, triple constraints, if you remember that: scope, schedule, and the cost. But delivering on time, on budget, automatically does not mean you're going to get the value. So you may have done everything on, within time. You have managed the budget very carefully. You have the stakeholder engagement happening as expected. The quality is delivered, but you still may not have the value. Why? We not only just delivery, we focus on benefit realization. Looking at what are the external factors which can impact the benefit realization. You may have done everything, but you still don't have the benefits. So you focus is not only delivery, but also making sure benefit realize and strategic contribution. We continue, to deliver the expected strategic objectives and customer impact, risk reduction, and long-term capability growth. So value become real KPI, not just activity completion. So yes, we can do or to talk about this, but KPI, real KPI, we're talking here, delivering the value. So executives don't fund the project, they fund the outcome. So when they are going through the decision making, they're not here talk what project to do. Okay, we fund. They're looking for what outcome we can get from these. That's the basis for the project selection. Are we going with time? How are you going with time? Sorry.
We're on time. It's 18 and 48 minutes.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't worry. Go.
All right. Thank you. Right. Capability blueprint for PMO leaders. So modern PMO are no longer measured by just reporting activities. They're measured on enabling strategic outcome. So that shift requires different kind of PMO leaders. Today's PMO leaders must think strategically, understand the business acumen, and also influencing the stakeholders, lead changes, not just enforcing process. Previously, more focus on process, follow the process. It's more about now leading the change, working with business, making sure they are thinking strategically. They also need agile governance mindset and ability to make decisions using data, not just status reports. Ultimately, PMO maturity is not only about framework, it's about leadership capability. So the future PMO leader is not about they're not administrator anymore. They are the transformation partners. So when we talk about PMO, and especially when we go through PMO CP learning, we're not talking about reporting. There's a basic function which any PMO has to do, but you're turning yourself as a transformation partner, strategic partners. Now I have an example here. You may like to see that. So this practical example from the real estate industry. A global organization in the real estate and digital service sector modernized its PMO during its enterprise transformation portfolio. Now, initially, PMO operated in a traditional two methods. So whatever we have been talking about, focus on delivery, reporting, and milestone technical completion. But leadership realized that progress alone does not enough. The real question was, are we investing in the right work? In the work which will give us the strategic outcome. So the PMO shifted towards the portfolio value governance, prioritizing initiative based on the customer impact and the enterprise value and measurable outcomes. So this is what strategic PMO looks like in action, moving from tracking activities to enabling transformation. So results, faster reprioritization, stronger ROI visibility, and outcome-based governance. So what changed? So real shift wasn't structural, it was operational. The PMO introduced few key practices that changed how the decisions were made. First, portfolio activities and prioritization review and ensured that only highest value initiatives move forward. So the selection has to be very carefully done. Only the highest value initiatives move forward. The second, governance moved away from just status reporting. They talk about, benefit relation. The third we're talking here, executive steering becomes center on value delivery, not just progress update. Because progress update is important, but are you really delivering the value? And finally, the organization established a clear escalation path and faster decision making, allowing the portfolio to adapt quickly as conditions change. So there are practical mechanisms that turn PMO into true strategy execution partner. Now the PMO becomes the enterprise decision engine, not just reporting layer. So what happened? What was the result? So by introducing stop, start portfolio decisions, the organization reduced initiative overload by nearly 30%, allowing teams to focus on the work that matters the most. Benefit delivery confidence improved. So now confidence has gone up because the programs were directly linked to the measurable outcome, not just activity completion. Executives were able to make faster decisions through integrated portfolio visibility and clear escalation path. So decision making much faster because you have clear execution path, escalation path, and integrated portfolio visibility. And most importantly, the portfolio becomes strongly aligned to enterprise priorities, including digital platform. Digital platform modernization, advanced analytics enablement, and customer and workforce experience improvement. The key takeaway is simple. The PMO evolved from reporting project progress to enabling the enterprise strategy execution and value delivery. Now that's the difference between PMO that track work and the PMO that drive the transformation. Any questions so far?
Dharam, there is one question from Lawrence Misipo. How do you manage the issue of strategic outcomes arriving generally after the project has ended?
When project is ended and you realize that it missed the strategic alignment, or it has not delivered the strategic objective. Is that correct?
I will repeat one more time the question. Yeah.
Maybe last
Well,
time.
I can actually chip in there. Normally, outcomes like, for example, return on investment. If you're building a bridge, for example, as a project, the return on investment will only come after the bridge has been completed and take a couple of years. People using the bridge before. So how do you manage that?
Yeah, first of all, this should be, should not be realized at the end, but we should be tracking this on ongoing basis. That's what we talk as part of the program management, making sure your stakeholders are informed. And when the decisions are made, and we have to keep an eye on the strategic alignment. If that's not happening, we're going to miss out, and we realize that when we completed the work, we have not delivered the expected outcome, or we are not strategically aligned. So this is where the governance and active stakeholder engagement and right reporting and focus can help. Is this answering your question? Yes, no? Okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
All right. Thank you. So turning ambition into action, future roadmap. So everything begin with organizational vision. Whether we're talking organizational vision or your personal vision, if you don't have clarity of the vision, how can you reach there? Vision is to climb this particular mountain. So we are here at the moment. We need to see what's next step and later. And so the clarity of vision is very important. From there, we build a roadmap that connect the today's initiative with tomorrow's outcome using smart milestones, specific, measurable, action-oriented, achievable, result-oriented, and time-bound, and value-based tracking. The goal is simple: move from now to next to later with clarity and the purpose. Yeah. Now, I'm very much, talking about certification. One is because I learned a lot during my certification journey when I was working for HP long time back or many other organizations. I was doing the certificate so that I can learn the best practices and apply them. So certifications are valuable community. So that's in the current, especially in the current job market, certification have become a real professional currency. Everybody is doing a great job, but how do you know how the hiring manager will know why should I select you? That's one of the key differentiator is the having right certificates. A certification is also a strong credibility signal. It tells the employer and the stakeholder that you have been assessed against the globally recognized standards, not just self-claimed expertise. You may say, I'm the best in this, but how do we know? As a hiring manager, how they will know? Of course, they can talk, but before they even come to that point, they see whether you have PMP, PGMP, PFMP, ACP, or the certificate. It also reflects the commitment. When someone earns a certificate, it shows the discipline, the learning mindset, and the dedication to the profession. Another important point is that the certification creates shared language. So when you work in a company or an organization where most of the people are certified as a PMP, then talking to each other project managers become very efficient. Whether you work in US, Europe, Asia, Middle East, certified professionals understand the same frameworks, terminology, and best practices because they have gone through the similar standards. Whether you're at the PMBOK or you're at the Standard for Program Manager Portfolio Management, the language is the same. Many people come to me not just passing the certificate, but they want to learn the common language or standard language. So overall, certifications are not just about passing the exam. They demonstrate that you have knowledge and experience and professional foundation to contribute, especially in the large program projects. So you can contribute effectively to the project and program success. So now having most people already have PMP. I don't know, I'm just guessing, especially if you are a project manager, program manager. But there are other certificates as well, especially from PMI. There are other organizations, but I'm talking here PGMP, PFMP, PMP, PMOCP, that could help you to achieve the possible elevation within your organization. So it can take you, to the higher levels. These are more strategically focused certificates. So, now becoming an expert. So having a certificate, when you achieve a certificate, you become expert. People see you as the SME. These certificates validate deep expertise and position you as a trusted leader in your organization. On the bird eye view, especially at the program and portfolio level. You develop the ability to see interdependency among the various components and various work, prioritize the initial investment, and guide the business change. And here the focus is on right work, doing the right work. Advanced certificates shift from mindset from activity to impact, ensuring efforts is aligned with strategic goals. The certified get hired. It's not always like that, because if everybody is certified, then you still be the part of it. But if you have better certificate, more certificate, or relevant certificate, the chance of getting hired will be much higher than without having certificates. And I myself have seen in my own journey when I used to work, some interviews happen because at the time I had PGMP. Because when you go for program manager role, everybody else comes with the PMP. But you go with the PGMP or PFMP or PMOCP, that brings differentiator. Be that differentiator. Eliminate career shocks. And now, as you probably hear all the time, this Amazon or Facebook and Google or many of the big organizations, they are letting go people, and that's not actually they are letting go people in thousands, 10,000, 40,000, 50,000. I mean, that doesn't mean just because you have certificate you may not get fired, but the chances are less because you are more valuable than others. So your value is recognized and can be seen by the organization. So overall, project program portfolio and PMO leaders are high in demand worldwide. And these certifications provide the credibility and capability to step into those strategic roles confidently. All right. So these are the PMI certificate, but as a VCare, my company is not just independent training provider. We are the PMI's premier authorized training partners. That we are the premier ATP. And we are authorized to run the programs for PGMP, PFMP, PMOCP, or RMP, or all the certificates. I pretty much run courses, or we run courses almost any of the certificate. Even CAPM, PGMP, to PFMP, to PMOCP. So when you join us, you are learning through PMI aligned pathway, backed by the global standard, PMI standard. Right. So if you're ready, I can help you. I can support you to achieve your certificate journey. I have helped so many people in the last many years with 602 PGMP and many more in pipeline and 201 PFMP. And this number is growing, which means more and more people getting certified through my guidance and our guidance. So if you do come to, want to achieve some certificate, you rest assured that you will be taken care and you will get the required certificate very, very soon. With PFMP, I'm actually maintaining 97.5% pass rate, first time pass rate. With PGMP, I'm maintaining 90 plus 90.5% pass rate. And this is much higher than the global standard. These certificates are much, much more complicated and difficult compared to other certificates. Maintaining such high rate, I'm feeling proud of that. Anyway, so it's not, I can keep talking about me and myself. So real professional, real certification, and real transformation leader. Yes, certifications are achievable. Sometimes people come to me, Dharam, I'm mid 40s, 50s, I don't think I can, and all those things, And my friend here, Thomas, he did PGMP when he was already retired. Am I correct? Question was, why are you doing when you already retired, when you're not working? It's not the age, it's not about when, it's about learning the best practices. Yeah. So over the years, certification like PGMP, PFMP, PMOCP is a newer certificate, program project manager office certified professional. had developed reputation for being extremely difficult. And many people think these are out of reach. And I don't want to undermine this certificate because, these certificates, of course, take a lot of effort, but with the right guidance, the right mindset, you can achieve them. There's the question. I think I saw a question.
Yes, there is another question from Khalaf Ahmed. PGMP requirements include experience in program management tasks. Can you please touch on what counts and what doesn't for people who are not officially program manager?
Yeah, it's a good question, actually. Many people, even though you are running programs, but officially they call you as a project. Or, if we talk about, the section, you don't have a concept of program. But you're running multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar work, they still call you as a project manager or project. So when we talk about programs talks about multiple interdependent projects. What you're called doesn't matter, but are you running a program by running multiple interdependent projects? Interdependency, managing multiple interdependent projects, that's what the key is. So when you're filling the application, they ask you two things. Your designation, that can be a project manager, that can be CEO, director. The second thing is your role as a role within the program. So you have to say, while they don't call it program manager, but as a program manager, you are actually managing the program. So in terms of PMI definition, if you satisfy yourself as a PMI, as per the PMI definition, then you are a program manager. So when writing the explanation about your program description and you have to show, you're going to tell as a program manager, even though you're called project manager, you are a program manager. Does this answer your question? Yes, no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Sorry, couldn't unmute.
Now, if you have any doubts, I think I will actually later on I'll put my some information. Feel free to book my time, and we can go through it. Whatever specific question you have about eligibility, about preparation plan, or whatever, I'm happy to talk about that and help you out with that. Okay.
Maybe I can add here, Dharam.
Yeah. Yes, please.
How I did it. It's you look at the ECO, which is the exam content outline, which details what they expect program managers to do. And if you look through the ECO and you see you are doing these things, then you can describe your activities, along the wording and the structure of the ECO. And then you are basically on the safe side.
Yeah, it's a good starting point, but sometimes even after going through the ECO, it's still not clear. That's where people like Thomas and myself can be, come give you expert guidance. Okay. Anything else? So, while they're saying this is a difficult exam and very complicated, and success rate actually, while I feel proud of my 90+ pass rate, 97%, but still, unofficially, there are, around 50-55% pass rate in PGMP and PFMP. So these are difficult if you have not gone through proper learning process. Because the problem is the book is very small, and just because the book is small, they think, okay, I can read it 10 times and do some mock exam, I will be fine. But the problem is not about reading, it's about visualizing the concept, making sure you understood it very well. So when you're sitting in the exam, you feel that you have kind of seen everything. When you go through scenario-based question, it becomes much easier for you. So when I was talking about 602 PGMPs, if I put a bell curve, I have maximum people completed the exam in 3 to 3.5 hours. The 4-hour exam in 3 to 3.5 hours. I do have around 30+ people who completed the exam in 2.5 hours. And 8 people, maybe more than 8 now, have completed the exam in 2 hours. And we are talking 4-hour exam in 2 hours. So how they did it? Of course, they have gone through the learning process. But more importantly, they practice very hard and they visualize the concept, and the exam becomes much easier. Yes, you did. Okay, so fantastic. You completed in 3 hours. Yeah. So when I'm talking about 2 hours, actually, one of them happened to be my wife. So I used to feel proud and say all the time, but now, see, you know what? I completed the PGMP 2 hours. And I say, you know what? You did learn from me, isn't it? No, I never learned from you. You know how this goes with wife and husband. Have you ever seen any wife listening to husband? Anyway, let's not bring it here. All right.
Dharam,
Yeah.
this is from Sandra Jeffers. Just as a comment,
Yeah.
I recently just passed my PGMP 3 hours, and I
Yeah.
found the whole experience very satisfying. I would really recommend it based on the depth of understanding and intellectual challenge. It's
Yeah.
difficult, but certainly doable. And also
Exactly.
you have from Khalaf Ahmed. Thank you for the great insights, Thomas and Dharam.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing, Sandra. And it's, these certificates are doable and can be done much faster with the right mindset, right guidance. And, if you have done all the work, you can achieve the success very, very, easily. Now, the best way to predict the future is to create it. We can say, okay, what can happen next year and year after? We don't know, but we can create it. That's what Peter Drucker talked about. That's what the wording of Peter Drucker. And actually, if you look at carefully, yes, that's what it is. Instead of waiting, something will happen by itself. You're going to create it. So the future is exciting. Let's make it more exciting. So if you do want to stay connected with me, you can use a read the QR code, or you can type talk to dharam.com. You will able to book my time. It's obligation free, nothing, you don't have to pay nothing. But we can talk about anything, PMO, PMOCP, PGMP, PFMP. Other information, my email address, my phone number. Any questions? Anything else you have in mind? I hope
Please, now it's a good time.
Yeah. So over to you. Thank you for listening, and I hope I have added some value to you.
You have a thanks from Arun Ramesh.
Thank you.
In the meantime, I'm going to open up our presentation one more time. While you're asking questions, please scan the QR code of our Mentimeter. This is very important for us to rate this webinar and our speaker and the whole atmosphere so we can continue doing our work.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, just to let you know, I'm not feeling 100% if you're rating me down. So please be careful, be gentle. Oh, it's all about 5-star rating. We're looking for 5-star rating. Sorry. I already canceled 2 of my other meeting because no, I cannot. Today is not my best day. But anyway, sorry, I don't want to bring this here. Have you stopped the recording?
Also, yeah, it's functioning. Thomas just shared the Mentimeter. If you have problem accessing the QR code, you can directly, or you don't have a phone, you can directly access it from here and rate it. Of course, the Mentimeter will be sent when we send an email with the results, of course, and in this email also we will share the LinkedIn profile from Dharam, and feel free to asking questions, of course. Porkhije, I hope that I'm pronouncing your name.
Yeah. Hello. It was great. I know it's difficult to pronounce. Thank you, Dharam, for your presentation. It was really helpful for me. I have one question. Maybe it's like I know that it's individual, like time frame which we can have for our preparation. But what is your suggestion? For example, what time frame must we get to prepare us for the certification? I know that it's like a different level of difficulty, but what is must to have time which we need to learn everything and practice everything which is important for the exam?
Which certificate you're talking about?
PM,
PGMP?
so for which like
PMP?
3 years experience is important, 3 or 5 years experience.
Oh,
I
PMP.
forgot.
PMP.
Yeah.
Yeah. So look, it should not be very long. I've seen people keep studying for many, many years. For PMP, I suggest 4 to 6 weeks. Of course, you need to read and learn. And it also depends on what books you're reading, what question banks. I do have a set of question banks and an app as well, and I do run PMP courses. Actually, I'm running a one program that is multi-week program that will be evening for. Let me think. Now that will be morning for you, starting from 28th of February and going over 8 weeks. So such programs, we learn, build the knowledge, and you continue to, use the knowledge and become part. That knowledge become part of you. If you've done this that way, because not only memorization, it's about using the terminologies, creating the documents. Then you're not learning for passing the exam. You're already doing it, and the exam become much easier for you. So
Okay.
6 to 8 weeks, maybe let's say hypothetical, maximum 2 months, 2 to 3 months maximum.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And PGMP, PFMP, I will say still, while there's a harder exam, but 3 months is more than enough.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. And yeah, you can talk to me and we can discuss more about anything which can help you. All right. Anything else?
There is a comment from Peter Peterson. Thank you for the presentation. I appreciate you giving it us while not feeling the best.
So, you're not seeing me as the best. Thomas knows me. Normally, I'm very smart and active. We talk every month, 2 times. Okay. All right. Anything else? But if you can stay in touch, if you are not connected to LinkedIn, please connect. I don't know if you have shared or you want to share the LinkedIn, my LinkedIn. If not, you can find me, Dharam Singh. If you're looking, Dharam Singh, look for PGMP as well. Dharam Singh,
Dharam,
PGMP.
I will send an email with a PDU code, and also I will incorporate your LinkedIn profile and once again the YouTube channel where they can watch your podcast. Don't worry, I will send the information to all our participants.
Thank you. But thank you for having me here, and it was great working with you. And I hope
thank you for coming and doing this webinar.
No, it's all good. Thank you, Oliver. Thank you. And I did talk to some of the people earlier, Matthias, Almira, and Thomas for recommending my name. And I will see you soon again with the new topic between me and Thomas. And by the way, you can share the YouTube link where Thomas and other thought leaders are in my YouTube. We're talking about great things, and hopefully those small things can help you to run your job, do your job better. So Thomas has been very kind so far. With 70 plus webinar, each webinar needs a lot of effort, practice, ready, and put some makeup. Thomas, that's it. Sorry, Thomas needs a little more makeup, but normally he's great. Sorry, Thomas, I don't want to say that you were putting a lot of makeup.
No worries. So now I will continue to join our next events. We're going to have our next event on the 26th of February, risk management from the view of executive management with Ayman Sadek, Egypt. We're going to have on the 2nd of March our on-site roundtable in Darmstadt. And on 11th of March, we're going to have an online webinar, Communication-Driven AI Agent for Next Generation Project Management with Oliver Wilken, Germany. So join our mission, the local group Darmstadt. You can find us under this email with members. Our local group Darmstadt is, as I said, with 7 members from 6 different countries. Florian Adrian from France and lives in Darmstadt. Mohammad Rezae, Afghanistan, lives also in Darmstadt. Tufik Habli, Lebanon, Beirut. Myself, I'm from Macedonia but live in Stuttgart. Almira Hasanovic, originally from Montenegro, lives in Battleborn. Maria Robe from Macedonia, lives in Brussels. And Thomas Valenta, Germany, but Kreuznach. If you want to join us in our team, please, you can contact us under the link that is on the page. And of course, the PDU code, you can take it now. Of course, I'm going to send it to you per email one more time. And thank you. Thank you for your attendance.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for joining. And let's stay connected.
Let's stay connected.
Well,
we have also a comment from Alexei Solovyanov. Thank you for the presentation, Dharam.